Welcome, everyone, to the Apoco-Larry podcast. I'm Steve. He is
Larry.
Yeah.
Again.
This is the third time we've done this, folks. Oh my gosh, I am such an idiot. But my friend, it is good to be with you. I'm glad that we got to do this. Sorry, I just got to move this up so I can see it. But folks, honestly, I balled something up. So here we are doing this a whole recording over again. But look, it's going to be even better the second go around. It was the third time for the introduction. That's where the thing is. But my friend, tonight we're going to talk about Zechariah 6, which is this one of these weird dreams, right? Or two of these weird dreams.
Two really, really odd dreams. Yeah. The first one is a little reminiscent of his first dream in chapter 1, because it has the horses in it.
Okay.
Chapter 1 has the 4 horses as well. I was going to go back and read. In chapter 1, the horses were, what were they? Were they black and brown and white?
Yes, something like that.
We'd have to go back and look. And this time they're other colors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're figuring, as you know, that he's an old man, as you know. So he had this dream. He has the first dream, then he has to get up and go to the washroom. And when he comes back, he has a very similar dream, but it's a bit different because that's how dreams go.
Yeah. Hoi vey. Like, I wasn't thinking I shouldn't have had that extra cup of coffee before bed.
Yes. Of course, he's Jewish, so it'd be tea.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, tea. Yeah.
They of course not in this period of time, but later on, they would drink tea. They put a cube of sugar in between their teeth and then drink the tea through the sugar, which was kind of an interesting thing.
Oh.
I don't know that everybody did it, but some did.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, folks, so let's jump in here. Verse 1, chapter 6. I looked up again, and there before me were 4 chariots coming out from between 2 mountains of bronze. The first chariot had red horses, the second black, the third white, and the fourth dappled, all of them powerful. I asked the angel who was speaking to me, "What are these, my Lord?"
Yes, and there's in the New Testament, they tend to the angel asks them, "What are these?" And they'll go, "We don't know. Only you know, sir." Yeah. And then the angel will explain stuff. It's a literary device.
Yeah.
But in this case, the literary device wasn't developed as well. So the angel just asked him, "What are these?" Or he asked the angel, "What are these?"
Yeah.
And the angel explains.
Yeah. Verse 5 now, folks. The angel answered me, "These are the 4 spirits of heaven going out from standing in the presence of the Lord of the whole world. The one with the black horses is going toward the north country. The one with the white horses is going toward the west. The one with the dappled horses is going toward the south." The east.
Are we missing a horse?
Yeah.
Yes.
I went through the desert on a horse with no name. That's not it.
Yes. This horse had no training at all. It didn't go anywhere. It took the chariot, took off. No one knew where it went.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it's an oddity in this dream. And when I read the commentators, they just ignore it more than anything. But the red horse doesn't go to the east. And nobody I read really knew why. There's probably somebody out there that knows why, but
right.
But because his focus is really just on the one horse.
Yep.
Yeah. So the idea of 4 horses, 4 spirits. Now I would say this is, of course, reminiscent of the Holy Spirit. Remember in Revelation, it's the 7 spirits of God.
Right.
The 4 spirits go to the 4 corners of the of the earth. In Revelation, also they have the 4 angels holding back the 4 winds. So this 4 corners of the earth and the Spirit of God going out to them is not uncommon. But he's focused on a particular place this time.
Yes, love it. Love how you made that transition. So, he's a professional, folks. If you don't know this about Larry, he's a professional. When the powerful horses went out, they were straining to go throughout the earth. And he said, "Go throughout the earth." So they went throughout the earth. And then he called to me, "Look, those going toward the north country have given my spirit rest in the land of the north."
Yeah, I love that. They were straining to go out throughout the earth. So he said, "Go out through the earth." It's sort of the way we train our animals. Yeah. We try to figure out what they're going to do, and then we ask them to do that and say that we've trained them to do it. But the thing here is that is the emphasis, of course, is that these horses go throughout the earth, but the emphasis is this one that goes to the north.
Yeah.
That's the big one, and we're thinking that the south is Egypt, maybe Ethiopia, maybe Cush. That's the south. The north, some of the commentators are saying that's Babylon or Persia, Iran, Iraq.
Right.
But I would almost suggest that the north, he's really talking Jerusalem and north of Jerusalem and in that area. I think his focus is on peace coming to Jerusalem, because remember, he's talking just before they're rebuilding the temple.
Okay.
So this is the time of the rebuilding of the second temple, and the preparation for that. So I think that this is a preparation for that.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. Just this is one dream, and then the chapter turns to the next one. Verse 9. The word of the Lord came to me. Take silver and gold from the exiles, and he lists off 3 exiles who have arrived in Babylon. Go the same day to the house of Josiah, son of Zephaniah. Take the silver and gold and make a crown. Set it on the head of the high priest, Joshua, son of Zadok, and tell him, this is what the Lord Almighty says. Here's the man whose name is the branch, and he will branch out from his place, and build the temple of the Lord. It is he who will build the temple of the Lord, and he will be clothed with majesty and will sit and rule on his throne. He will be a priest on his throne. There will be harmony between the two. The crown will be given, again, to these 3 people that he mentions, the son of Zephaniah, as a memorial in the temple of the Lord. Those who are far away will come and help build the temple of the Lord, and you will know that the Lord Almighty has sent me to you. This will happen if you diligently obey the Lord your God.
Yeah, little piece in there, right? I'm going to do all of this stuff if you obey the Lord. That's very Mosaic, like Moses. Not a mosaic, but Moses.
It's not, hey, I got these little shards of clay here.
I'm gonna build a temple out of them. So again, so these exiles are to come from Babylon. They think that the 3 names are not the names of people, but they are an appellation. They're a title, that they may not be actual people. However, Josiah the son of Zephaniah and Joshua the son of Jozadak, those are the people, right? Those are the main guys. And so what Jeremiah is saying is they're going to make gold for these guys. They're going to put it on the head, and these are the ones that are going to rebuild the temple. So again, this is just a foreshadowing of the temple that's about to be built.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. And it's very important. Now, some of the scholars, they'll look at these 2 things and they'll say, hey, the one's a priest and the one's sort of a king, right?
Yeah.
Now, it can't be a king over Jerusalem, because Jerusalem couldn't have a king at this point,
right?
Because they were still under Persian rule,
right?
And so since there's no king, some try to push this forward and say he's talking about a Messiah. But then they'll say the Messiah came in the form of Jesus.
Right.
And Jesus was a king, and he was a priest.
Right.
Remember? Priest in the order of Melchizedek, king in the order of King David, and a ruler as well. And so some say that really this is pushing forward to the future.
Okay.
To the coming of Jesus. And it could be. There are always those that when they read prophecy, they see double fulfillments. There was a fulfillment for their time. There was a fulfillment for the future. Now, I try to shy away from that as much as possible. I don't like going that direction, unless the New Testament comes back and says, hey, that was pointing at Jesus.
Right.
Yeah, which they did a lot.
Yeah.
They took, but I don't remember them taking any of these verses and pointing them specifically at Jesus. But I do think that what's happening here is he is prophesying about this temple that they're building. Haggai was his contemporary, and Haggai was telling them, stop building your houses. You need to build the temple.
Right.
You
Yes.
need to concentrate on God's thing.
Yeah.
And I think Zechariah is doing the same thing. But he's doing it in a different way. He's doing it not telling them to do it. He's doing it saying it's going to be done through these guys, through money that's coming from Babylon, interestingly.
Yeah. Hence why the need for peace, so the temple can be rebuilt even too.
Yeah, and it'd be nice if the gold and silver came from Babylon, because they were the ones who took it from the original temple. Yeah, even though they're not even there. So why they're even talking about Babylon? This is Persia.
Yeah.
And yet they never let go of Babylon. Babylon was the one everybody hung on to. And later on, when they talk about the evil cities and in Revelation, I'm sorry to keep going there, but when they talk about it, they talk about it being Babylon.
Right.
That Rome is Babylon. They never say Rome is Persia.
Yeah.
Because of the Persian cat, I think. Because everybody loves the long-haired Persian cat.
Yeah. But babble, like who wants to listen to a babbler? Well.
Yeah. Other than maybe a brook, maybe that's the only thing that gets away with it. So I think what he's pointing at in all of this is this temple that's going to be built, and not too far in his future, actually.
Right. Yeah. Interesting. What a bizarre little piece of scripture that we tripped into here, right? Is these two bizarre dreams that and it's just fascinating, like you said, Larry. Oh.
Yeah, we could talk about dreams, because God seems to use dreams.
Yeah.
Remember, all the way back to, who was our guy, Prince of Egypt? Not Moses. Joseph. All the way back to Joseph and Pharaoh's dreams.
Yeah.
Pharaoh had those weird dreams. And I like Joseph because he tells him the dream and then he interprets it. He doesn't even say, tell me your dream. He says, no, this is your dream. And this is what God says is going to happen. Right?
Yeah.
So he was an interpreter of dreams. And I don't know that God, I wonder if God still uses dreams. I don't know. Can't use mine. Mine are, well, if you can use these, maybe you can use mine.
Why am I wearing a moose head? I don't know. It must mean something.
What is God telling me?
I look good in antlers.
But in this case, of course, the dreams are very important, and they are. And again, he says, you're going to have peace if you obey me. Yeah. We like it better in the New Testament, where he just says you're going to have peace, and he doesn't throw in all that obedience stuff. or does he?
oh, hurtful, so hurtful. It hurts my heart. Oh, my friend, thank you so much for that, folks. That was fantastic. I love how Larry illuminated these passages, and I think we might have commented at one point. The scholars kind of went like this with them, like it means something, sure, but we don't know. So it's so fun to see this kind of stuff. We're so thankful that you could join us on this. A little programming note: we will not record next week, but we'll be back with you the week after. I'm taking a wee trip, so I'll be out of the picture for just 1 week, and then we'll be back. But as always, please know how thankful we are that you listen. Don't hesitate to tell your friends. We're on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts, and wherever you get fine podcasts in your neighborhood. If you're at a corner store, I'll take a podcast, please.
Is that my friend Larry and Steve?
Oh, yes. I'll take the Apoco-Larry podcast off the shelf. That looks pleasing. But until the next time you hear us, I was Steve, he was Larry, and this was the Apoco-Larry podcast.